Alright guys, I just got out of class, got done with lunch, and we're just gonna get straight into a video. I haven't planned anything really for this video, but we're just gonna quick go over sort of my strategy that I've started to develop and started back testing. Um, and so I'm gonna kind of quick explain it, show you guys a few examples, and then show you guys some of my statistics. Basically what it is you're reading price action and using the fib for your TPs. So first of all, these are my fib settings right here. So this is stop loss, entry, and your two exits right here. Three exits, sorry. Um, this is the old one that I know I used. I know Habibi and Tels used. Also, by the way, shout out goes to those two. They've worked really hard on their strategy. Go watch their video once it's posted too. Um, but we've collectively kind of, I know they've back tested it and this is what they've found. I tested it, found the same thing. So we've all kind of collectively decided on just going on the round numbers for the TPs. But these are my settings right here. Um, the way that I like to do it is just draw from your entry to your exit. And then once price goes up and hits this TP here, um, put stop loss to break even. Let's say it goes back up and hits this one. Stop loss now goes at TP1. And so if you get stopped out here, that's okay. You're still locking in some profits on your stop loss. Otherwise, you're all out at TP3 there. Um, and so that's kind of how I use it. The way that this strategy works is it's straight PA reading, price action reading. Um, Mostly just looking for engulfing candles and very big wicks. And I'll go more in depth on the wick on the last I have 6 trades that I'm going to show you. On the last one, I'll kind of go through that wick entry that I've gone through, and it happens more in the Asian session. But it does happen, and I think it's happened once in the New York in my back testing, but not as much. Um, this is a great example of a trade that I would have taken, except for it's the first candle right at 9:30, so I didn't actually take this. We'll use it as an example here. Um, you can see we had this bearish close followed by a bullish close above it with a bigger bottom wick than a top wick. So that's what I'm looking for on my bullish engulfing entries. I want to see bullish engulfing. So it closed above the body. Um, and then I want to see the top wick be smaller than the bottom wick. So the bottom wick here is 16.75. This one's 5. So this is my entry right here. Um, and the way, all right, guys, I forgot to say this in the entire 20-minute video somehow. But everything that I do is on the 3-minute. Um, this is the only editing that I'm gonna do, but I needed to throw this in here somewhere. So yeah, everything that I do is on the 3-minute. That's all I'm on, only the 3-minute all the time. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Bullish engulfing. So it closed above the body. Um, and then I want to see the top wick be smaller than the bottom wick. So the bottom wick here is 16.75. This one's 5. So this is my entry right here. Um, and the way that I'm going to draw my stop loss is you want to draw it on the candle the for a bullish entry, you want to draw it on the low of either this candle or this candle. You don't want to go any farther back for my strategy. And I'm sure there'll be an example of that later on. But so for this one, it's pretty obvious. You just want to take the low right here. So this is how I would draw it. Obviously this trade hit, but I don't like taking trades right off the open. So I usually wait for at least this candle to close. That's kind of my main requirement. You can wait longer, but I have taken trades on this candle and it's been fine. I just don't like trading on the first candle of the open in New York or Asian. Um, and by the way, in New York, is from 9:30 to 11 Eastern time. But the first trade that I'm gonna get into doesn't look like a super bullish close here, but it's this candle right here. You can see that the top wick was 15, bottom wick was 15.25, so it's actually just barely bigger. Um, and the reason that I took this, I know most people don't really see this as a super bullish candle. Um, but when this first went, um, we closed here. We actually went up first, then all the way down, and then right at the end of the candle, we pushed all the way back up. So that had super bullish tendencies. But so you can see this is my entry here. Um, and stop loss is either the low of this candle or the low of this candle. In this case, it's the low of this candle. And you can see that if we go here, um, on this one right here, we hit full TP. So you can see we had a little bit of drawdown here, went up, didn't tap break even, went up all the way to third TP. So that's the first trade, TP3. The second trade here is a better example here. This candle right here, you can see that the body encloses the entire body of this, but more importantly, it closes below it. And then you can see that the wick is larger on the top than the bottom. The same thing, draw it either to this or to this. So for this one, we're going to draw it to this. And you can see if we keep going, we did get stopped out of this one. So New York, these are the only two trades that I had for New York. I think this bottom wick here was bigger. Yep, just barely, but it was bigger. Um, so those are the only two trades. The other thing that I don't like, um, let's see if I can find a quick example here. I don't like when, we'll just use this as an example, even though this top wick is bigger, but just pretend this was a super bullish candle here. Um, I don't like taking trades when it engulfs a candle like this, where it's super small. I want it to be comparable to candles around it. It can be a little bit smaller, kind of like this one. As long as the candle that's engulfing is not super overextending on it, um, that's when I won't take it. I just want it to be very similar sized. It can be, twice as big maybe, but just not, I don't want it super small like this. So that's one rule that I have there. Um, but yeah, so this is this New York session. We hit one TP3, one stop loss, and that would have um, netted us about 1.2 R total for the day. The way that I run my um, like trimming, I take um, I I take 40% off here, not 49, 40% off at TP1. I don't take any off at TP2, and I'll show you why later. But even though I don't take any off, I still move my stop loss up to here. And then I take, obviously, the 60% left off up here. So that's how I trim. Um, yeah. So we'll get into the Asian examples now. Um, so this first trade, I believe it was right here. So you can see the bottom wick significantly smaller than the top wick. This is not a small, tiny candle. So we take our entry to our stop loss, and you can see that this one also hit TP3. Um, so you can see that that one hit TP3 there. A little bit of drawdown right away, but smashed through all of them there. Um, and then let's see, we had one more trade here, which was, let's see, where was it? I believe it was right here. And this was a another good example. We had this big top wick here, and then another top wick with the bullish and closing handle here. This one went TP2, which you're gonna find out later when I show you the stats, is very rare. Um, if you wouldn't have gotten filled here, it actually would have been a TP3. But I am just counting it as you would have gotten filled, being a little conservative. So that's TP2 there. You can see we hit TP2, TP3 for 3.2R on this. Um, and then we're going to skip past this day because there's no trades in that day. You can see it's super choppy. And go to the next Asia session for the last two trades. Um, this first one, I believe is just right here. Um, it's a 9-point stop loss. I know it looks bigger, or 9.5, sorry. Um, but again, top wick, not even really top wick, but there's no bottom wick. It closes after this big bottom wick below. And this one was just a TP1 here, so it went there and then eventually tapped us out right there. Um, and then the last entry is our wick entry, which was over here. So the way that I run my wicks, I want it to be like I was talking about before with the no small candle size, body size. This one I want it to be pretty small. I don't really want it to be like this. I want this huge wick here. Um, but I want no wick on the top. So this one right here, entry to stop loss. You can see we went and hit all three TPs there. So again, this day would have netted us a 2.6R. Um, yeah, so that is the wick entry. Obviously, it'd be the same thing going down. Another thing that I don't like to take trades with is like on a candle like this, say that there is basically no top wick here. So like right there is where it closed. Um, I don't like taking trades when there's no bottom wick at all. Even if it's 0.25, that's better than none at all. Um, I found that most times when there's no wick here, it does exactly like it did here, where it comes out and stops you out and then runs to your TP. Um, so like you can see here, it would have hit TP, but it just runs to your stop loss first. So that's another rule there. Um, Trying to think, but I think that's all of them. Don't enter um at least one candle before news. Um, let's see. Anything else? I don't think so for rules. We can pull up the statistics here. So these are the statistics from the 6 trades that I just showed you. We can zoom in a little bit here so it's a little easier to see. Um, yeah, there. So you can see we had 2 New York Open, 2 Asian, and then 2 the next day Asian. Mostly engulfing candles. You can see that that's mainly the entries of this strategy, but you will get some wicks in there. You can see we only had 1 stop loss in these 6 trades and 3 TP3s, um, and a rare TP2. You can see down here in the bottom right, our total R in this trade is 7. So that means if you, let's say you put in 400 per trade, um, and multiplied it times 7, um, equals 400 times 7. That means you would have made 2,800 in these trades. And I'll kind of explain my risk between New York and Asian and some more of the rules there. But with those rules, you actually would have passed a prop firm account of 50K in 2 days. So it's kind of crazy. You can ignore this for now. This is something that I'm working on. Um, Trying to figure out set contract sizes. But right now, we'll just hide that. Actually. and these are the total points. You can see 75 points in 2 days, and 4 of the trades were in Asia session is pretty good. Um, and our biggest stop loss was actually the one that got hit. So yeah, but yeah, so you can see this is all of my data here. We go back to a normal zoom. These are all the trades if you want to stop and kind of look at them a little bit. Um, but Wi-Fi is going out, of course. Um, Shitty college Wi-Fi, obviously. Can we turn back on, please? Um, okay. Maybe not. Just give it a minute. I'm just getting bad signal here. I think the Wi-Fi went out. Um, just um, yeah, the Wi-Fi just went out. So hopefully, oh, there we go. All right, we're back. Hopefully all that recorded. Maybe not. We'll see. Whatever. So for the risk, these are the RRs that are calculated with those. This is going to be New York, and this is going to be Asian. This is dollar risk per trade. You can see Asian is a little bit less. That's because um, you take quite a few more trades. You average like 3 to 4 compared to 1 to 2. And also in Asian, I allowed myself to take 2 losses in a day before I'm done. Um, in New York, if I take 1 loss, I'm done. And that's it. Um, and so, um, because of that, this is a little bit less. But the stop loss sizes are more, which is why eventually the contracts are going to be more. And these are in micros, by the way. But you can ignore this. Um, and so you can see kind of the results with those numbers there. You can see that Asia has over $7,000 profit in 3 weeks, and over 170 points total. New York has $6,000 profit and 340 points and total points, total profit. Um, but if you change these, I think if you could max go, I mean, if you wanted to go daily drawdown max 1200 and with 2 losses 600, these are now your numbers here, which is insane. But I think the most that I would go is 1500, um, which it would give you these numbers, still pretty insane. Um, and if you want to be safe, I had them at 600, 400 before. You could even half that and go 300 and 200. Double type maybe 200. Um, and as you can see, still in 3 weeks, you're passing an account and taking a pay. So, but for now, I'm just keeping them at 600, 400 for these results. Um, these are the win rates here. So you can see that around about 22% of the time you're hitting stop loss. And around 78% of the time you're taking at least TP1. You can see TP2 doesn't hit very often. Usually if it hits TP2, it's going to go to TP3. Um, so that's why I don't take anything out at TP2, just because not much happens when you go there. If you take the stop loss out here, you can see that 50% of the wins are TP1 and 40% of the wins are TP3. So it's very a good range, a good amount of TP3s there, which is good. Um, but yeah, I think that's all that I kind of need to explain here, as far as I know. Um, Hopefully all that got recorded with the internet stuff. I am downloading ARC right now, so that might be why. Um, but Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm just gonna say no for now, and if you guys need to ask questions, you can just send me a DM and I'll answer them the best that I can. But yeah, just remember the entries: one loss a day for New York, two in a day for Asian, and Asian I don't think I said is 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. Um, and then yeah, just wait at least one candle after open to enter. Yeah. Um, I think that's it. So hopefully you guys make some use of this. Maybe I'll make a little bit better video someday. I just wanted to quick throw something out for you guys so that you guys can backtest this weekend. But yeah, that's gonna be it.